What up, y'all? I want to talk about Tenet by Chris Nolan, his latest movie. I'm a huge fan of his work. I've seen all his films except for his first one, The Following. But I was very excited to see this movie, but the pandemic hit and every theater got shut down. But I recently got a chance to see it. I live in New York City, but I had to go out to Jersey to see it, and I really enjoyed it. And I want to talk about why it's important for I think everyone to see this movie in a theater if possible. Leaving the theater after seeing Tenet, I was very confused, just like I was when I saw Inception. Um, with Inception, after I watched it a couple more times, I finally understood everything that was going on, and it's gonna be the same way with Tenet. It's gonna take a couple viewings for me to fully get everything that happened. I didn't get inversion the first time it was explained. I've watched a couple YouTube videos since, and I kind of got a better understanding of the story and what was going on, but it's gonna take like multiple viewings for me to like fully get it. But I love that. I have no problem with that. I love movies that take a few times to unwrap and understand, and you have to just watch it to catch every detail. I love movies like that, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video because I want to talk about that and also why like saving movie theaters is so important. When the pandemic really hit and they shut down restaurants, bars, nightclubs, I was kind of okay. But when they shut down movie theaters, that bothered me. I've always enjoyed going to the movies. It's just something I've loved, even if I was watching a bad movie. Some of my earliest memories are tied to going to the theater. So when this movie finally came out and I couldn't see it in New York, I was like really disappointed by that. So I went to Jersey to see it. But I feel like it's so important for movie theaters not to go away. And right now, it's not looking too good. Regal is about to close all the U.S. theaters on Thursday, and that's probably the worst thing that could happen for them. And I completely understand why people aren't going to the movies. They don't feel safe enough to do so yet, which is completely understandable because just as a country, we haven't been moving around safe. But I'm also kind of looking at the long-term effect. And what I feel like is going to happen is like they've closed all these theaters down, but in a year or two, when hopefully it's safe enough at like places that have large crowds, most of these theaters won't open back up. I live in New York City, which is a large market, and the Regal theaters here will probably be okay when they open back up. But you gotta look at the smaller markets, and those theaters are probably all gonna get shut down. And what I'm thinking about is the person that's just like me that loves going to the theater, but the theaters in their small city is now closed down. I'm just using Regal as an example. There's other chains, obviously, like AMC. But if things continue to go the way they are now, other chains will probably have to do the same thing and shut down temporarily and wait until it's open and like safe enough to have large crowds. But the problem is a lot of those smaller chain theaters won't survive the downtime, whether it be a year or two or three. A lot of those small chains are going to be forced to close, and that's very bad for the industry as a whole because they won't be bringing in as much revenue. So like your big time studios won't want to put money into these larger pictures, and that has its ups and downs as well. Disney experimented with Mulan to see if they could take a big budget picture, put it on their streaming service, and charge an extra fee to see it. And their thinking behind that is to see if they can basically cut out movie theaters, put their own movies on their own network and have people come see it. But Mulan didn't do too well. Just people shitted all over the movie and there were huge protests about it. If this trend continues, all these big time movie companies are just going to make movies and put them straight to streaming. But that would be terrible because pirating is going to become a big issue and revenue will go down. And when that happens, they're not gonna want to put money into any like big time pictures. The one good thing about that is they could make smaller pictures with better writing, and we won't get like fucking remake after fucking remake. We won't get Fast and Furious 15. We won't get Saw 12. That could be a good thing, but it'll also be bad because we won't the new Bond movie coming out. I can't wait to see that. I really like the Daniel Craig Bond, and I can't imagine just sitting at home watching that. I want to see it in a theater on a big screen. So that is that's the thing. Like, I don't want to lose that experience, and I know a lot of other people feel the same way I do. Ultimately, I just want to say, if you're in a city or a state where it's safe to do so, go to the movies. Support a movie like Tenet, with like just which is an original movie by a great director who is trying to like push the movie making envelope forward and not just making like a bunch of bullshit. If you don't feel safe enough to go to a theater yet, I completely understand that. When I went to Jersey to see Tenet, I was hesitant too, but when I went, there was like two other people in the theater, so I was comfortable. We should do everything we can to try to save theaters. I think it's very important to just people as a whole, in my opinion. But you could also be on the other side of the fence when it comes to this. You could be like, fuck this guy and his weak YouTube channel. I don't want to go to theaters. I just rather watch this at home, and that's fine. You can feel like that too. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Let me know what you think. Am I not seeing something? Am I missing something? Just keep in mind, this is just the opinions of one rambling asshole. You can see everything differently. Let me know what you think in the comments. Be safe and take care of each other. Bye.